What's going on, guys? Listen, I caught a smoking deal at Discounters on Banana Republic fragrances. So we might just go through the entire line before the month is over. I apologize, but listen, it must be done. Someone's got to set the record straight. I see too many people liking the wrong fragrances and hating the wrong fragrances. We're going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the late evening. Hey, I have my tea right here. This episode is sponsored by Ashwagandha tea. I've been changing my lifestyle, guys. I've been getting healthier. Certain events have caused me to reevaluate where I am in my life and what I'm doing to my body. So we've recently gone through some huge changes. We'll talk about it later, but I'm getting my tea game on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be sipping some more tea. I'll let you guys know what I'm sipping. Let me know what you're sipping when you're listening to this episode or what you sip on a late evening. Today, we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Banana Republic. And as I've said before, no one's right, no one's wrong, but to me, you are. I'm watching you guys. I just feel a lot of people like fragrances I don't really like in this category, and I get it. You know, I'm a dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? I'm different and I'm old, so it doesn't really go together well for the general population of people into fragrance. But I'm going to tell you how I feel. A lot of people like how my nose is, you know what I'm saying? Like how I break things down, like my frame of mind. Even if I'm not your age, I still can take you on a walk with me in a way where you can evaluate your life and your fragrances in a way that's purposeful and meaningful and good and dope for you. Fragrance today is Banana Republic's 06 Black Platinum. I'm going to keep it real with you. I've seen this fragrance before, and the name has no draw. The name has no draw. It gives me no indication about what the fragrance is. And when I looked at the notes online, I saw leather, animalic, amber, and said, not a lot of people can do that profile correct. And I wrote it off. But I found it for $10, guys, 30 ml. I love the 30 ml bottles of Banana Republic at Discounters. It is much cheaper to pay the extra $10 and get the 100 ml. But when you don't know if a fragrance is good or not, I'd much rather drop $100 and get 10 flavors that I could try out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we did here. I scooped up a crazy deal on a bunch of Banana Republic. So we're just going to go through the line, guys. You guys might catch a top 5, top 10 best Banana Republic in order from me real soon. But this is Banana Republic Black Platinum, and let's put it on the test strip. I'm gonna give you the truth, guys. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down how these fragrances are. Banana Republic walks this fine line between synthetic and very luxuriously fresh, and sometimes they lean synthetic, boring, weak, and other times they knock it out of the park. And this fragrance right here knocked it out of the park. Wow, this is manly. What's Jeremy fragrance? Power. This is power. This is prestige. This could be suit and tie. This fragrance means business. This fragrance does not belong on a boy. This fragrance is masculine. It's earthy. It's got elements of animalics in there that just come off so fresh. It's got leather. This is your whatever the car is that Batman drive, the Batmobile. This fragrance smells like the Batmobile. Okay? Gosh darn it. Hold on. We got to pay some bills real quick. Fragrantica here is being an idiot. Black Platinum. Anyways, this fragrance is luxurious. This is like my cup of tea. This, man, for as a 35-year-old guy about to be 36, this sucker speaks to me. This is class and sophistication. It's robust. It's fairly simple. You have kind of leather, amber, maybe touch of citrus, super fresh, aromatic. It almost is reminiscent of like a Noir Noir. I don't want to say Spice Bomb because this way more leans on the kind of almost smoky but super fresh ambery leather. The leather though here is so beautiful. It's like this might be one of the first fragrances I've come across in a while where it's leather dominant by about 50 or 60%, but the cut of leather is just so fresh. Like picture one of those satchel bags, but fresh off the press in Italy. And it's just like super fresh and hot off the press type of leather. It's not, I know I said animalic earlier, but the animalic side to this fragrance isn't represented in the leather note at all. The leather note is very upscale fresh, but still dominant. Like it's got some weight under it. It's slightly fougere in that if you think about it too fast, you might think of a like ambery Barbasol shaving cream for half a second. But if you keep your nose on it long enough, you get that leather, you get that amber, you get that touch of citrus. It's extremely earthy in its leatheriness. It's almost like a leather bag sitting on like a few pine needles, a jar of Barbasol freshly made, and then just like this ambery sweetness, almost like a cinnamon stick. Again, it's reminiscent of Noir Noir, much fresher, much lighter, but still in the vein. Noir Noir kind of has this robustness where it stays pungent and girthy throughout the wearing experience, whereas this kind of freshens up on skin and goes amber leather exclusively with a touch of that kind of ambery Barbasol brushy shaving cream. This is a man's kind of fragrance. My only kind of quarrel with it is that immediately right on skin, it gets even fresher than it is. Yeah, see, like even on the test strip, it goes light immediately. Like that first opening is so powerful and you just want it to stay. I can totally tell that with a fragrance like this is a 8 to 10 spray killer. This is a man's fragrance, guys. It's not so manly though that it's old. It's like if you're a young guy and you just want to be taken seriously, you want to walk up to that girl and you want her to know you drive a nice car, you're ambitious, you know what you want in your life, you've got it all together, you're well disciplined, you're well groomed, head to toe. You might not be a man right now, but you're getting there. It can rock for that guy and it can rock for the guy who's already there. Now, before we get into the kind of brass tacks, let's go to my window here. And
who wore it. Let's see how you do.
Oh, that was like an ad that was on. I was like, who the heck? Webcam. There we go. Okay, so let's go down here. Top notes of pink pepper, cactus, and lemon. Maybe just the tiniest touch of lemon. I don't know what cactus actually smells like, and I should because I am in Arizona. We have a lot of cactus around us. I don't know. I've been around a lot of cactus. They're classifying it as kind of this herbaceous fougeriness. Fougere for sure. Green juicy note. I get it a little bit with that kind of Barbasol-y earthiness, but cactus is a horrible way to describe that. Pink pepper. It is a bit smoky. Not smoky as in grill smoky, but peppery smoky. I like that they used pink pepper here and not straight up black pepper because the pepper has sweetness to it. You definitely get a lot of that orange blossom and jasmine. I'm not familiar with the note of moss. I mean, I have plenty of fragrances that have moss in it, but I haven't distinctly smelled moss by itself. I do have a raw resource essential oils kit over there, and I'm going to add moss to it at a later date because that's one thing I'm highly interested in is smelling individual notes for you guys to kind of paint a picture for certain note profiles you guys have never put your nose around. You know, like for instance, I think about black currant. A lot of people don't know what black currant smells like. Um, and there's some very distinct ways of describing it that kind of can let people understand what it is before they have to smell a fragrance like Silver Mountain Water to get it. Says this is inky and bitter smelling. I get that with this fragrance, so I guess it is very mossy. Um, Leather, amber, patchouli, usual suspects in the base, and I absolutely love that. Again, I don't think this leans toward a kind of it definitely doesn't lean towards like Spice Bomb Extreme, though it's in the realm of spicy, ultra manly niceness. I feel like a fragrance like this leans towards cold weather, you know, but I would rock this indoors in warm weather. It has a nice freshness to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, the leather is treated so freshly here, even though it's like a 50-60% dominant leather. Then comes in this moss, cactus, ambery pink pepper, freshened by orange blossom. Such a nice fragrance. You know, me and Gator, the Novice Knows, check him out on YouTube. Phenomenal YouTuber on the up and up. Him and I were discussing the concept of modern fougere. A lot of people look at fougere as kind of this old school barber shoppy, earthy, elemental kind of note profile. And I think a lot of companies are modernizing what fougere means, because a lot of notes in fougere fragrances are pretty much still dominant today in the base of a lot of popular fragrances of all age ranges. And so I think Banana Republic here took a profile that was fairly conservative fougere and just ramped it up. Ton of amber, ton of fresh orange blossom, a fresher note of leather that isn't animalic in its rendition. Like it's fresh cut of leather. It isn't leather that's been sitting or kind of woody or funky leather. This is the freshest leather. This is leather briefcase. This is leather satchel bag, hot, fresh off the press in Italy. You know, that pink pepper to just manly this up. Cactus to give it some nuance, yet keep it earthy, yet put a different take on the fougere. Don't just leave it mossy. This is a phenomenal fragrance. I'm done waving my hands. Now let's get to some brass tacks. I don't want to say this is an ageless fragrance, but I do, because it's so fresh, want to lean on saying that if you're about 20 and up, you can give it a shot. I tend to want to think this is a 25 and up fragrance, and it can go all the way up to your granddad. Your grandfather would love wearing a fragrance like this. Your dad would love wearing a fragrance like this, and you would love wearing a fragrance like this. This is just what every boy wants to become. And for that reason, the entry point reaches down to the young guys and says, hey, give it a shot. It's a certain persona that rocks a fragrance like this. Noir Noir is the only thing I can say it's closest to. It's just a lighter take on that. But I think if you spray it 8 to 10 times, you can get in the ballpark of Noir Noir, probably about 85%. But this has a little bit of nuance to it in its freshness, leaningness, and in its lack of complexity. It's a little complex, not as just juicy and robust and layered as Noir Noir or Noir Extreme, whatever. But ageless fragrance, $10 for the 30 ml, $20 for the 100 ml. I have no problem getting the 100 ml, and I will get the 100 ml. Have a lot of respect for a fragrance like this. I told you at the beginning of the episode, this fragrance speaks to a guy like me. Use cases. I want to hit it with another fresh. I want to smell that opening again. Man, I really wish the opening would have carried to the base. We know that can't really happen, but some fragrances do it well. Gosh, manliness. Such a great opening. It dries down into something nice, but that opening is something special. They need to make that into a candle. Use case. I do think you can rock this out of the shower, guys. I wouldn't really normally classify this as a freshie with charm, but this is kind of like fresh earthy, fresh masculine, fresh green, fresh leather, all in one. You know, it's not your usual suspects for a freshie, but it's on that manly, earthy freshie. You could rock this out of the shower. As a man, you can errand run with this. I think it's colder weather preferred, but it can be any season, any reason. You know what I'm saying? I would rock Noir Noir in not high heat, but certainly indoors in warm weather. Um, Man, there's almost not an occasion you wouldn't really rock this. I think it could go date night. I think it could be dressed up. I think it could be formal as formal can be. I think it can be, it's not a playful fragrance, but because it's so fresh, it just finds its way to be in any occasion. Don't smell like this if you're going to class. You know, this isn't a student's type of fragrance. You know, you don't wear this to class. That's not the move we're going for. Um, but nonetheless, it's a phenomenal fragrance. And anything other than the schoolyard, I think this fragrance would absolutely rock. Um, we did use case, we did price, we did all that good stuff. Final thoughts on this fragrance. Get it. It is awesome. It's got that profile that every man should have in their collection, which is that, you know, it's just when you pop open this bottle and you spray this, you think, I'm a man. Point blank, period. Yeah, I wish I could get more descriptive than that. This is just one of those manly fragrances that you must have in your collection. You know, it's how I feel about Bentley. You know, the Bentley line, they don't miss, man. Even if you don't like the note profile, you got to respect how manly and classy they put together so many fragrances. You know, I was looking through the Bentley line the other day. Man, they got like 15 bangers. It's like, it's just crazy. You can almost blind pick a Bentley fragrance and it's going to smell phenomenal. But man, fresh and upscale, classy, sophisticated, versatile, and somehow still fresh, even in its robustness. This is Banana Republic's 06 Black Platinum, and it is a certified banger. For those of you who are new, welcome to the Scent Bubble. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am one of those people who responds to every single comment, and I appreciate the community feedback and the interaction, and I return the favor. I do giveaways. Right now, when I turn the camera off, I'm about to send out 2 decants to a lucky winner of our 500 sub giveaway. And I'm going to continue to do giveaways and make you guys in the community a part of my journey so that we can all have fun in the conversation of fragrance. This is the Scent Bubble signing off. Have a blessed week.